Welcome Virgo. Hey, thank you for joining me. This is your March 2021 reading with me. Guys, welcome to this reading and thank you from wherever you are joining around the world. It is a pleasure to do this for you and to have you on board. So thanks for being part of Team Celestial. So I think most of you will know that we are still in very volatile planetary alignment times. That was heralded through the beginning of 2020. At the very onset of that year, and of course we watched 20 unfold in its very odd, bizarre way, and 2021 is still offering some fairly intense energy fields that are coming our way as well, and we are currently also experiencing those. And I'd been kind of hammering on about this from mid last year. As we moved into this new decade of the 20s, we were going to find immense change at all levels, and there, in my mind, we're being shaken awake and there is no going back. So wherever we are headed now, we are creating the new reality that we will be moving into. Things will be very different than they used to be in the past. The 20s are a powerful decade of immense change, and when we go into the future, historically, we will look back on the decade of the 20s as being one of the most remarkable that humankind will have experienced. So there's a lot to come yet as well. So really, this is just the beginning. We have this year a lot of activity taking place between what is called the Saturn and Uranus square. The first of which started on February the 17th. Then there's two more, June the 14th and December the 24th. So Uranus is a major player in 2021. He is the ruler of Aquarius. Now Uranus represents innovation, freedom, change, escaping from our comfort zone. Saturn is also a ruler because they have this square conjunction that they are interacting with. And Saturn represents the opposite, literally. It's authority figures, rules, boundaries, traditional establishments, and it's also the planet of karma. Much karma has been activated in the last year and a bit, perhaps even longer, and this year has also got lots of karmic debris that is coming up that we are being allowed to interact with, and there are periods here where we can free ourselves of past karmic debt. So it's important to do self-introspection, work on yourself to figure out how you can move forward on your soul's evolution and journey, how to clear negative karma that has held you in positions of negativity, or loss, or grief, or self-harm, or deprivation, and move that into a positive realm of dharma and release and moving forward. So I feel a lot of us at the moment have much work to do on ourselves, inner work, but that inner work also involves usually interacting with other people, whether it be at the interpersonal, just with one or two other people, or whether it's within a community, or whether it's even bigger and globally. It's a very, very powerful time of change. We will be using these 3 decks of cards for your reading. But before we do that, I have some messages that I instigated for you the other day, probably last week now. And so these are the messages that came for you. The first one says, "This and that are true." Then there are beautiful heartfelt highs and some unexpected lows in the month for you in March. This seems to fit with the whole push-pull energy of the Saturn-Uranus events that are taking place. There feels to be liberation, collapse, exhaustion, obsessive thoughts that could be surrounding you on some practices or projects that you might be working on or through. Now there is some other phrases that came up, and it said, "There is no love that is lost, it remains through time." Then there were also the following messages: connection, courtship, attraction, love, marriage, and self-love seemed very important as well. And that's what I said at the beginning, working on the self and allowing healing to take place at whatever level. Now, it doesn't just mean for this month of March. It could mean for more than a year. It could mean for a long time as we journey forward, as it so happens. This is a chakra energy deck called Chakra Wisdom Tarot by Tori Hartman. This is the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor, and this is a Doreen Virtual Angel Therapy deck. So we will start with this one first. I will move these two to the side so that we have a little bit more room. I think those will be the three decks that we will work with. So let me just check I have got them up the right way. This is for Virgo for 21 March. What is in store for them? What is it you would like them to focus on, think about, ponder and follow? So the first one that came out for you, nice active card, the Two of Wands. So these cards use the border around the edges to denote the chakra energy that is also associated with that card. So thinking about this energy field is also really relevant in this particular deck of cards. This is the sacral chakra energy field, which is quite logical because these are the Wands cards, which is all about passion, creativity, often associated with career as well. So you have the Two of Wands, you now have the Emperor coming out. That's the blue chakra energy, which is the throat, which is about speaking, communication, being heard and listening at the same time. Then we have another major arcana for you, strength, also in the sacral chakra. So maybe strengthening up that area of the body or being grounded with it, or regaining self-strength or self-love, which of course is what we talked about. Anyhow, I will just shuffle a few more of these before I go into the full meaning or storyboard that they will be telling us. The Four of Swords, that is the heart chakra with the green energy. Oh. The Three of Coins, the Six of Cups, that's the solar plexus. This is the crown chakra or the third eye possibly. The Knight of Cups, the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Swords. So a good mix of the colour palette of the chakra energy. I think you have them all just about here. So let's have a wee look at what you have actually got. I'll move my camera or I'll move the cards one way or another so we can see what we are looking at. I'm also going to look at the bottom, which is the Empress over here, another green chakra card. So let's see what story is coming out of here. The Two of Wands, and I move it, and another one just comes down on top of it, which is another heart crystal. So for some reason the heart crystal wants to put itself in there, whether that's offering energies of compassion or self-love or healing or some sort of love. The Two of Wands can often turn up when we are thinking of job opportunities. If we look at these two here, in fact, I think what we're going to do for the reading is kind of like take them in columns. For some reason, that's the way they've been deployed, and I think that's the way that we will talk to the story about them. How many major arcanas you have? The Emperor, Strength, and this one at the bottom, which was the Empress over here. These two here, the Two of Wands and the Three of Coins, are almost telling you that there's this feeling of wanting expansion or the ideas or concept, and it could be around career or financial prospectus in your life, and often the two of those are tied in together because often the career is associated with the finances that we earn. Sometimes this can be ideas or concepts or wanting to expand or look out or grow one way or another. And it might be about how you spend your money or how you choose to invest it. For some of you, I feel it could be an investment that you're thinking about and wanting to know more about. Or others of you, it's a possibility of saying, what more could I do to find more income in my life or to change the way I manage money or bring it in? And this could be thinking of new career opportunities, it could be thinking of expansion, ideas, sitting exams, looking for a new job or a promotion as well. But because the Three of Coins is reversed, and it was really the only reversal card that came out, I know some of these other cards, technically they arrived a little bit on their side, which to me means that they are still forming, that there is an opportunity that sometimes they don't take shape, or you have the opportunity to change an outcome when cards arrive on their side. But I chose to just displace that and put them upright to allow the reading to take place, if you like. But coming back to these two, and they're very similar chakra energies. This is the solar plexus and this is the sacral. It feels as though you have to combine something in your thinking or your metaphysical body to bring these two together cohesively and find the answer for a project you're working on, or for some sort of expansion you're looking for, or maybe to manifest something more in your life. Because these coins are reversed, I get the feeling that they could fall away if it wasn't done correctly. So it might also mean that for you guys, you need to watch your money, or you need to be careful how you invest it, or you need to be careful how you try to gain extra money. It's about making sure you deploy the right cohesiveness, and you've got to add A plus B to get to the C. Otherwise, if you don't do it properly, this isn't going to work. This is going to fall away, or you'll miss an opportunity. Maybe you'll miss a golden opportunity if you don't do it right. So if you're thinking of job applications, or attending a new job, or trying to increase your knowledge awareness, like taking up new degrees or new courses or something, you have to make sure that it's useful, that it's going to be the right one to pick, that you're doing it the right way and for the right reasons. Those were the messages that came through from that. This next line here, the Emperor and the Six of Cups, interesting one, because the Emperor often can denote a timing period, and that can be March, which is what the reading is for, March or April period. And he often represents Aries energy, and sometimes he represents an older person of authority coming into your life one way or another. Now, for some of you, it may be that you revisit this person one way or another, or he might come back into your life. He could be a family member, or someone who used to be a mentor, or perhaps a teacher of some kind. He may even be a legal advisor, such as an accountant, a taxman, a lawyer, and it might be that you see this person, or there is something that happens around about that period of the year, so March or April timing, that makes you aware of the situation that could be unfolding with him in it. And again, this could be finances or money or legal perspectives. This Six of Cups is often about going back in time and revisiting things from the past. It can be going back to see people that you haven't seen for a long time, such as family members, school reunions, people from the past, and it can be ex-lovers. For some of you, this person could be an ex-lover who you reunite with, or if for some reason, and it could be karmic here, you come across them again, or your pathway is interacted with them again. And it might be for legal purposes. There might be a document that you have to sign, there might be a contract that's brought up, there might even just be a reassociation or reconnection. It could be about healing from the past, and for some of you it could be about reconnecting with a potential lover from the past. I also feel for some of you he could be a teacher or a family member that you come to see or visit. There is a possibility that he may have some knowledge for you, or some insight or awareness as well. So there's many different facets that this mixture or column could be talking to us about, in terms of meetings, agendas, also karmic release, rebonding or rehealing. This card was kind of deployed here between these two columns, so perhaps there's something about it plays a role down both of these columns here. So if the Ten of Swords is semi-attached to this, it could be that you go back in time to revisit something, or re-meet with someone, or rediscuss something, but you could still feel ending up like this. And this is a bit deflated, or as if you know finally something is completely finished, done and dusted, and you will walk away from it, that there will be no more returning. So this can be a very deep catharsis that is taking place, and understanding that perhaps someone you held in high regard, or someone you spent a lot of time with, it could be an ex-lover, it could be a family member, It could just be the past coming up to surface and you're going, no, that is not me anymore, or I won't want to be associated with them, or I'm going to move forward in a new direction. So there's something about the past that you want settled, you want out of, you're moving forward, you change it out, you leave it behind. There's also something in here that, to me, that talks about surgical procedures. This card, and this can be the definition of surgical procedures. Obviously, the sword cards can fairly clearly align with that. But to have 3 in a reading that hint at something, some of you may have a booked-in surgical procedure. For some of you, it could be more of a minor operation, and it could be in terms of beautifying yourself or doing something that's not intensely serious but could make life a little bit better one way or another. For some of you, it might be about the face or the body that people see, so you might get varicose veins done, you might get your teeth modified, you might get a minor facelift, you might get, who knows, any of those type of surgeries as well. But for some of you, it could be a bigger surgical procedure that could involve the back, the neck, going all the way down this part of the body, so realignment, restructuring, bones. It could involve stomach or lung surgery as well, and that could be maybe not so much planned, but something that happens. And if it's not you, it might be someone you know or someone you are caring for as well. With this one here, the Strength card, it's a beautiful one to have come in, and it is about increasing your self-belief, your self-awareness, re-strengthening yourself, both at the physical, emotional, and thirdly, the spiritual. So there's a degree that this one could play out at re-strengthening or harmonizing the physical, because we see this over here with these potential surgical procedures as well. But it can also be emotional, regaining strength emotionally, and that could be through taking the decision to walk away from people who perhaps haven't supported you or honored you or have caused friction in the past. So you are regaining strength. We see this Knight of Cups beneath this, which is often the card of the proposition of love. Sometimes when this card comes to us, it's about finding people around us who offer us love in various ways. It doesn't have to necessarily be romantic love, but it can be supportive, honest, upright, enjoyable friendships or family nurturing as well. This particular deck of cards, she sort of uses this phrase. It says, this night is transporting your message to spirit, which announces the arrival of an opportunity that will spin your life in a new direction. Could it be that this is a dream coming true? And so given that it's under this whole column here with this inner strength, this regaining of your personal power, of feeling more motivated, of feeling just more powerful about so many different things in your life, this could be part of a dream aspiration, and it might be something that you've been focusing on for the beginning of 2021, about going in this new direction, becoming stronger, heading out on your own, becoming like an individual with your own direction, your own steps, your own authority. As if you are saying, I feel as if you are saying goodbye to something over here that may have restricted you, or may have been curtailing, or may have been limiting in a way. It's like this thing here, this column here, rebirths an amount of power in you, regrounds you somehow, Virgo. For some of you, this, as I say, is the potential of love, but it most certainly gives you the feelings of an invitation, a proposal, which can be a proposal of an offer, and this can be also a job offer, remember. Intuition, visionary, and the feeling of peacefulness as well. So remember also here to connect with your psychic self and to listen to messages that come to you through psychic realms, also through the synchronistic realm, because oftentimes, unless you're really tuned into the power of synchronicity, you can sometimes miss some very amazing messages. So you guys might begin to see some big synchronistic events in March and, moving through to April. And we can see that because you've got quite a lot of the purpley blue, which is heading up in that direction of the third eye chakra, the crown chakra, and also the throat chakra, which is communication. And the communication can come to you through the psychic realm, or through reading things, or seeing things, hearing things, or through speaking communication. But if we move to this final column, we see these two with the swords over here in it. So I might move these over a bit more and focus on this column for you, bring it a bit more into your vision. So this is the Four of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Now the Four of Swords is often a card that we refer to in terms of taking some time out or a retreat. So the retreat can be going away for the weekend and spending time at a beautiful place that is very grounded, peaceful, soothing. Sometimes you go with another person who you share a very divine encounter with. It's like a celestial or blissful potential union that can take place. Now sometimes this can also represent fertility. So for those of you on a quest to try and achieve a pregnancy, it could be a good time frame for you in that month of March. The other terminology of the Four of Swords can be that you literally need to take a retreat or time out to rest, and rest your brain in particular, because this may be overtly focusing on something or overworking. And sometimes this is when our self-talk causes harm. You know, we doubt ourselves, we lose our power when we are in a place of self-doubt or lack of respect. So it's about feeling as though you could just go away for a while and relax and take the time out. Sometimes this can mean headaches as well, so experiencing headaches or neck pain. We've talked a little bit about that down here, because the Ten of Swords can sometimes also mean that type of experience as well. But if you get to the point where you feel as though you need a break and your mind is giving you too much chatter or doubt, self-doubt, then take the time out and do some grounded exercises, do some meditation, find some sort of relief from tension or anxiety or possibly even depression, and allow the naturalness of being at peace or in meditation to soothe away any worries that, you know, quite frankly, a lot of people have at this point in time in these eras of extreme, intense change. And this card then, from the third perspective, which I've mentioned a little bit about already, can reference minor surgical operations, and sometimes by choice, so already booked in, already decisions that you have made that you would like to uplift these surgical procedures, and sometimes they can be minor procedures that you might unexpectedly come across as well. Now the last one, the Queen of Swords, she can often be an air sign person, so this may be someone you are associating with. It could well be for some of you that this is the person you go away on a retreat with. It doesn't have to be a female, but it can be someone who exudes the feminine energy of sharing and caring, being more not necessarily diplomatic, but trying to solve things from the viewpoint of seeing both sides of a story or perspective. However, the Queen of Swords of all of them can be very much about communication, and sometimes she says things in a hurry, or she says them in quite a officious manner. So this person who could be around you, she could be there to support you. So that could be a Libran, an Aquarian, or a Gemini person who may be supporting you, especially if you need a retreat or a break. Or she could be supporting you in ideas or concepts that are flowing around your mind. So she could be someone who's coming to you to work in a partnership or to offer ideas, or the two of you have got, like, you know, something going that's flowing and you're trying to bring it into this reality or ground it and make it more real or practical. If she's not a specific person, then it can be the energy of the Queen of Swords, and this is very much about articulation, getting communication across, words that sometimes require documentation, like legal documents coming in, contracts to be signed, things that need to be checked, and sometimes through a lawyer or an accountant or something along those lines. I also see the dogs there that she has, 3 large dogs, so pets may play a role for you in the month of March. It doesn't just have to be a dog, it could be any sort of pets. It may also be that new spirit guide animals are awakened for you, or you become more aware of them again. Then the last card we had over here was the Empress. This is a beautiful card to finish all of these cards with. Again, it's the heart chakra energy, which is what this one was. This is a very voluptuous card in terms of generally feeling well or good health returning to you. This is also a time of fertility, so you had two cards in the deck that could have represented periods of fertility in your life. So as I said, those of you who are wanting to conceive a pregnancy, this could be a good time. For others, this can be conception of ideas, new romances, new relationships, the purchase of something new coming into your life. Again, as we mentioned, could be pets. But the Empress overall, she does just bode this lovely harmony, balance, peacefulness, generosity, harmony with nature in particular. So spending time with nature outdoors and meditating could be very beneficial to bring in this flow of positivity within the month for you guys as well. She definitely represents the feeling, as I said earlier, of good health returning. So if any of you have had health issues, or you do have health issues in the month of March, for whatever reason, I feel as though there's something that comes at the end of it that rebalances out, or gives you the message that yes, what you're doing or what you undertake or any procedures you go through will help return you to good health again. So with that in mind, let's put these ones aside for now. And the old Emperor, he didn't want to go back in that deck, and he's quite often the mucky one of the bunch that were in there, stubborn and determined and forthright and wanting to be heard and seen. So I've put him up there facing that way, and we'll see what else comes from this deck. I think everyone enjoys using this deck when it comes out, the Energy Oracle deck. There's a lot of different cards in here that have really good meanings and interpretations. Okay, so man holding a heart. For some of you it could be this Emperor. Blossoming abundance. Woman holding a coin. Very nice. So there seem to be people around you in this month of March. You're interacting with others, most certainly. The man holding the heart is definitely in terms of someone who loves you and supports you. It could be this guy. He could be a family member. Is someone from the past, but it could also be a new love romance. The Blossoming Abundance is a beautiful card to get, and if I hold it up really close, if you look closely in here, there are hidden coins all around the card. They're often quite hard to see, but they're in all sorts of places. So with the Blossoming Abundance, I tend to feel that it's still hidden, that you've still got to search for it, and you've still got to do some work on it. But there's this opportunity here for you guys to gain a little bit more, to somehow make some changes. And we talked about that in those very first two cards that came, that it feels as though some of you might be using ideas to bring in expansion. And then you've got the woman holding the coin as well, which is also about this potentiality around your career or your finances, what you do with it, how you spend it. You know, she's a little bit sullen, and with her black cat sitting next to her, to me she looks as though she's holding on very tightly to that money, and she's thinking twice about whether she will give it to you or not. So I think it's about how you handle the situation, how you make propositions to others, how you deploy yourself, how you put yourself out there in terms of what will be coming for you. And you know, if you're thinking of career change or promotion, or you're looking for extra money to purchase or buy, or wanting to spend on things, that is fantastic for many reasons. When I was talking to you before about synchronicity, and I said sometimes you miss the synchronistic events that take place, boom, there's one. Two different decks, the Angel of Strength, and you've got the Strength card twice. Two big lions. And remember, I also said to you about pets, and it didn't have to be dogs, but here we have animals, and again, they're very big cats, and I imagine not many of us have pet lions. Here's an interesting thing. I always wanted to have a pet lion when I was a child, or actually even right until I was a teenager or more. But this again could be animal energies coming in, and so at the end of this reading I'm going to get my animal deck and I'm going to find the lion and I'm going to see what the meaning is. And also, if you remember at the beginning, I said these are the 3 decks of cards that we are using, and I think I said but there may be more, and I didn't know what it would be, but I do now, and I will do it at the end. So this Angel of Strength is really empowering you to pull up, to utilize it, to feel the power of the universe that is coming in, that is there to support you, especially if you have felt weakened at any level over the last year, or even over the last week, or even if it comes in March and you feel weakened. This energy is here to strengthen you. So that is a powerful, beautiful synchronicity. What else was there in here for you? To have patience, that timing is the universe's discretion. We think that timing exists for us or because of us. It doesn't. So if there's something that you are waiting on, have a little more patience, that things are in place and they are working. The storm warning is a little bit like this card again, your 10 of Swords. So there is definitely something in here about maybe an argument, or finding out that something that you thought was backing you, pardon the pun, backing you, was in fact destabilizing you or de-energizing you. It could be a friendship loss, it could be the loss of someone close to you, it could be finding out that someone has been maligning you. It could end up in an argument one way or another, because that's kind of what the storm warning is. For some of you also, you may be in an area where there's a very big storm. Now, we've just seen in America, Texas, go through some terrible weather. So preparations, or having a kit, an emergency kit on hand these days, is a wise thing to have as well. Let's just look at one more or 2 that came out. Wow. You have another Archangel come in for you. It's Archangel Uriel. So she is the crown chakra up here, and we did talk a little bit before about trusting your intuitive strength. If you go through anything in the month where you would like support or help, call upon Uriel, especially when you attend meetings, like court meetings or at business meetings where you are putting a proposition forward, or you want someone to hear what it is you are saying. She helps communications, she helps words to be able to be got across, and ideas and conceptions to get there as well. The Magician in the Mirror is like the Magician in the tarot deck, is a very, very powerful card of alchemy and the opportunity to be able to power up things that seem impossible at a given point in time. I love the Magician card, but again I say to people, this is when you have to actually do work. You have to find out where the magic is hiding, and then you have to do the alchemy to make a situation change from one thing into another. And when you do that, you've struck some sort of chord, or you've opened a portal in the universe's answers to life, and you understand more about manifesting and bringing that manifestation into your life. So it's a very powerful card when you can work through the message of it and really feel into the power of what you can co-create. I also look at the thing above his head. It is a number 8, which is eternal life, which is also the karmic number as well. So this could be referring to many different aspects for you, whether it's in this timeline, in the here and now, or whether it's clearing past energies from different timelines. Just very briefly, because we will also bring that other lion card in, something from the Doreen Virtue deck. Be willing to forgive a situation. So forgiving is a very powerful healing tool. We don't have to, that doesn't have to mean that you are allowing someone else to have treated you incorrectly or harmed you in any way. But what it means is when you forgive the situation, you allow peace to come in, and you no longer hold animosity anger or fear or loss or grief in your heart. And so this heals you. It doesn't necessarily heal them. What they have to do for themselves is their own business. But when you bring this in, this beautiful, calm, green, healing energy is emanating from this angel. But also see right here in the middle of where the heart would be is this kind of symbol of health and prosperity and calm and peace. So that's what happens when the allowance of forgiveness comes into our life. It's very, very hard as humans to forgive. You generally will find animals have the ability to forgive with great ease, but humans have much more problem with it. So vegetarian or vegan diets will be very useful. This could help to clear especially skin troubles or bowel or stomach issues, changing to a vegetarian-based diet or plant-based diet. There's your psychic awareness, and it also says it's safe for you to see the energy of love in all of its forms, as such as angels, auras, and visions. And I do feel some of you will experience some really nice events during this month of March. I felt that at the very beginning. So some of you could see passed over loved ones in dreams, but you might also see shadows going past doorways. That could be them. You could have electrical interference in your house, which could be spirits wanting to say hello. We're coming into that Easter period where the portals are much more opened, and you might find sparkles of light or energy. You might see rainbows, you might see butterflies, all of those types of things. The God box is a great concept. It's a thing that you can utilize to place worries in. So you can write things that are worrying you and ask the universe to help solve it. Then you put them into this little box, and you put the box on a windowsill in the light, and you just say, let the universe take care of that for me. And you free yourself up of the energy of worry from something. So here I have found for you the Lion Spirit from this beautiful deck, the Spirit Animal Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reid. And I truly am so in love with this deck, but perhaps it's because I'm a passionate animal lover as well. But the pictures in it, they seem to be alive almost. They're so full of powerful background energy. I absolutely adore using this deck. So I'm going to put this card down and then read the words from the book for you so that you can encompass the power of the lion that you received. And you received, as I say, the lion 3 times. So let's just get the other 2 lions out and the angel that came in with that lion. Remembering that for these 2 lions, it was about strength. We'll just see what the message is. Be generous of spirit. A healthy ego means you ease God's order instead of edging God out. Lion Spirit's appearance is a reminder that you have been given the gift of pride and a healthy sense of your worth to express your divine, authentic self in a unique way. You are both the king and the queen, secure in your prosperity and wisdom, and generous of spirit as you help others. Take pride in your ability to serve from the heart. Contentment with what you have right now allows you to use your resources wisely as you give to others in ways that educate, heal, inspire, and delight. Be proud yet humble. Practice gratitude, and you will find that the accolades that come to you are no match for the joy of knowing what you have been able to do for others through expressing the bounty of generosity within you. Lion Spirit knows there is a great savannah before you, and many who will benefit from the healthy expression of your unique sets of gifts if you choose to work in partnership with Spirit. All your relationships flourish as you express your worth and generosity of spirit with humility and kindness. What a blessing you can be to all. And that definitely sounds as though regaining your power and feeling very confident is what this message is giving. Now there's another aspect to the Lion Spirit card, and it's called the protection message. So I shall also read that out to you. I've blocked that lion's face. Do you doubt you can do much good? Are you stuck in a state of scarcity, thinking, Who am I to lead, or who am I to step into my dream? Who am I to have an amazing relationship? Who am I to think I can help? Lion Spirit is here to tell you that the antidote for low self-esteem is stepping into healthy pride. Of course you can do all that you desire. The spark of Great Spirit lives inside you, and you are here to steward that amazing energy into the world. Lion Spirit knows that Great Spirit invested in you so you might be a channel for Spirit's love and generosity. Take pride in your role, seeking to bring an abundance of love into the world. Perhaps you do much good already, but you're feeling unappreciated, wanting to hold back your gifts and hoard them for yourself. Maybe you are looking for attention and praise. Maybe you were even being generous with the expectation that you would be entitled to a repayment. Know that the real magic happens when you remember there is always enough, and you are always enough. Give freely without agenda or expectation, and let Lion Spirit remind you that in giving, you receive. Then you will see that you are appreciated. Stop comparing yourself to others and seeing yourself as less than, for within you is a wellspring of generosity. So that's an interesting way to finish the reading, with so much strength for you guys. Grounded, beautiful, natural earth energy strength, and also showing you the ability of the lion's energy, one of the leaders of the animals here on the earth in this timeline that we live on, the power and the strength that you can regain if you have lost it, or you can give out to others to support if you are in that position as well. So thank you again, Virgos, for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed your reading. There have been plenty of interesting messages that have come through. I love finishing with these three beautiful lions. Some of you may have a Leo moon or rising energy as well, and this could be quite relevant to you because this is very much also like the Leo energy coming through. And some of you may have Leos in your life that you are wanting to work with, or that you are wanting to either heal relationships with, or you are trying to harmonize balance again with Leo energy in your life one way or another. So that could also be very relevant within this message with all these lions here. So thank you again for tuning in. I love that you sub the channel. I also love it when you leave your comments, as does everyone else. I wish you all a great month ahead, and may you find your inner strength and be blessed with the power to move forward in freedom and in the gift of giving and love. Namaste, everyone.